Hello, AFSA Division 7 chapter leaders. So you are heading to your division's conference or the AFSA PAC, but you need to fill out your voting credentials and you don't know where to start. Well, look no further. You can start right here. This video will walk you through how to fill out your chapter's voting credentials so your chapter can be represented at the division or international official business meetings where the voting occurs. First things first, be on the lookout for an email from AFSA headquarters. About 60 days prior to the event, AFSA headquarters will send you your chapter's credentials report. It will identify all of the members officially assigned to your chapter. This report will also tell you the total votes your chapter has earned. Your chapter will earn 1 vote for every 25 members. The total votes can be found on the last page of the report. Now that you have your chapter's credentials report, go ahead and grab your voting credentials form, also known as the accreditation of chapter delegates. If the form is not already included in the email, you can find it under Forms once you log into the AFSA website. I cannot emphasize enough that this form must be signed by the chapter president and secretary. Without both signatures, it will cause problems for your delegates when they check in at the event. And without a properly completed form, your delegates may not be able to participate in the official business meetings. Your chapter will not be represented, and because your chapter's votes won't count, it could impact the quorum requirements for the entire event. So on to the good stuff. Add the convention location and date. Pretty self-explanatory. Where is it going to be and when? Then you'll see the statement, we certify the following active chapter members in good standing have been duly elected by chapter blank. Add your chapter number in this blank. The next line starts with general membership at a meeting held on blank, 20 blank, at blank as bona fide delegates to attend the AFSA. In the first blank, put the date of the meeting, usually a general membership meeting. In the next blank, put the year, 2020, 2021, 2030, whatever is applicable, followed by the time of the meeting. On the next line, check division for a division convention, or check international for an international convention, which is usually the AFSA PAC. Now let me backtrack for a moment. Why should this be presented at your general membership meeting? Well, this is a perfect opportunity to discuss the issues that the delegates will be voting on and gather feedback or consensus on where your chapter stands on a particular issue. Secondly, this is a great opportunity to let them know who will be representing the chapter and offer up details on how they can participate in these events as well. So your delegates are representatives for your chapter during the official business meetings at the convention. While this is primarily targeted at voting, nonetheless, they are representatives of your chapter. The chief delegate is your primary representative. This is typically an executive council member, the president, vice president, secretary, or treasurer. This needs to be someone who is not dual-hatted at the event and can participate in the official business meetings. Then you will start listing your alternates. While it is not required to have alternates, it is highly recommended that you have an alternate or two to avoid any single points of failure. You can have as many delegates as you would like. I would recommend the delegates are chapter members listed on your chapter's voting credentials report that you received from AFSA headquarters to avoid any confusion later on. Remember, active chapter members. Next is the voting strength. You can divide this up any way you choose, but the total votes per delegate must equal the voting strength received from AFSA headquarters. For example, if you have 46 votes and 3 delegates, you can give all 46 votes to the chief delegate. You can also give 23 votes to the chief delegate, 23 votes to the first alternate, and none to the second alternate. You can also give 40 to the chief delegate and 3 to the other delegates. But at the end, the total votes must equal 46. This is just an example. Don't put anything in the Credentials Committee certification. This will be completed by the Voting Credentials Committee at the convention. At the bottom of the form, legibly add the president and the secretary's name. And then the most important part, it must be signed by both the president and the secretary. At the convention, your delegate will turn in the form to the Voting Credentials Committee. If they do not turn in this form, they will not be able to participate in any of the official business meetings where voting is involved. Additionally, at least one of your delegates must be present at the official business meetings. Prior to any voting, there will be a roll call, and your delegate must be there to check in for your chapter. Again, I cannot emphasize enough that this form must be signed by both the president and the secretary. Give the delegate the original and keep a scanned copy just in case. This way you can email it to the delegate if their bags are lost or the form is misplaced. So from start to finish, first be on the lookout for your voting credentials report from AFSA headquarters so you know your chapter's voting strength. Then identify your chapter's delegates and complete the form. Next, let your general membership know who will be representing the chapter at the convention. Both the president and secretary must sign the form, give the original to the delegate, and keep a scanned copy just in case. That's it. You just filled in your voting credentials form, and now your chapter's voice will be heard during the official business meetings. And that, chapter leaders, is how you fill out your voting credentials.